So good afternoon, students. So let us start the session. So previous class, we discussed about sequential data types. In today class, we are going to discuss one example program. So this example program is useful when you are solving real-time problems. When you are writing any coding problem, so this topic will be very much helpful to you. So today topic is how to find a number is prime number or not. How to find a number is prime number or not. To find a number is a prime number or not. Prime number or not. In this, we are going to discuss the 5 programs. The first program we are going to find that we are going to give a number. Now we are going to print that this number is prime number or not. Okay. Second program, you are going to give a number. You are going to print all the prime numbers between this range. All the prime numbers between this range. So next we are going to see another program, that is m comma n. M comma n. Now we are going to print all the prime numbers between m and m. Between m and n. Between m and n. Okay. So next we are going to see a program to find sum of consecutive prime numbers. The sum of consecutive prime numbers. So this is code beta program. And after that, we are going to discuss about the same problem with another solution. Okay. So these 5 programs we are going to discuss in today's class. The first, you are going to find a number is prime or not. Okay. This is the first program. The program to check whether a number is prime or not. What is the problem here? We are going to read a number and we check that either the number is prime number or not. So for this problem, first we are going to know that what is prime number. What is prime number? So how we can determine a number is a prime number or not? So for example, I read a number 10. 10 is a prime number or not? How we can find that? So 10 is a prime number or not? 10 is not a prime number. It is not prime. 15. If I give a number 15, it is prime number or not? It's not a prime number. It's not prime. If I give 19, 19. So 19 is a prime number. 19 is a prime number. Okay. 7. 7 is a prime number. First, we know the logic that, so how we are saying that the 10 is not prime, so 15 is not prime, so 19 is prime, 7 is prime. First, we think about that logic. So how we are saying that these numbers as a prime and not prime. Okay, how I am saying that? So how I am saying this 10 is a prime number or not? So what I am doing, the prime numbers are starting from 2, 3, 5, 7 like that. Okay, so these are the prime numbers. Now, here I am going to find that the 10 is prime number or not. What is the number here? 10. Now, I take this number and I can find the remainder with 2. If I get 0 as a remainder, then it is not prime number. Okay, let us see the 10 percentage 2. 10 percentage 2, we get the remainder 0. So I say that 10 is not prime number. In second case, 15. 15 percentage 2, that equals to 1. So I check for next 15 percentage 3. So here I got the remainder 0. So I am saying that 15 is not a prime number. So next 7. 7. If you consider the number 7, I take 7 percentage 2. This is not equals to 0. Correct? 7 percentage 3 not equals to 0. Yes, it is not equals to 0. 7 percentage 4 is not equals to 0. 7 percentage 5 it not equals to 0. 7 percentage 6 it not equals to 0. So if any number, so when we say that the number is a prime number or not, if it is divisible by all the numbers, that means all the previous numbers, For example, here I'm going to find the 7 is a prime number or not. Now, so when we are saying that 7 is a prime number, the 7 is divisible by 1 and itself. 1 and itself. If a number is divisible by 1 and itself, then only we say that 7 is prime number. But here we are writing the program. So we say that the number is a prime number if it is not divisible by all the remaining numbers except 1 and the number. Okay, here I am going to find the number 7 is prime number or not. Now, how we can say that? I try to divide this 7 with remaining numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 7, 1. Eliminate these two. These are the remaining numbers. Now I'm going to find the remainder for all these numbers by using this number 7. 7 percentage 2. I find the remainder. If I got any non-zero value, then I check with 3, then check with 4, then check with 5, and then check with 6. Now all the numbers except 1 and 7, it is not divisible. So 7 is a prime number. Now you see the number 11. What are the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So these are the numbers. Okay. So when we say the number 11 is prime number, remove 1 and 11, and the remaining numbers, all the remaining numbers are not divisible. This 11 is not divisible by all the remaining numbers. Then we say that 11 is prime number. So 11 percentage 2. We get the remainder 1. 11 percentage 3. We get the remainder 2. 11 percentage 4. We get the remainder 3. 11 percentage 5. We get the remainder 1. 11 percentage 6. We get the remainder 5. 11 percentage 7. We get the remainder 4. 11 percentage 8. We get the remainder 3. 11 percentage 9. Get the remainder 2. 11 percentage 10. Get the remainder 1. Here you observe that here, when we divide the 11 with all these numbers, in any one of these cases, we don't get 0. If we get the remainder 0, then we say that it is not a prime number. If you take 10 percentage 2, we get the remainder 0. So we say that 10 is not a prime number. So for example, if I find 1, 1, 1, so this is a prime number or not. So how we can find? We run the loop from 1 to 111. 1 to 111. In this, the 1 and 111 we remove the remaining all the numbers. We are going to divide this 111 is divided with all the remaining numbers. If we got the 0 as a remainder in any one of the case, then we say that it is not prime. If we got in all these cases, if I got non-zero value, then we say that it is a prime number. That is a condition here. How I solve this problem? So how I find whether a given number is prime or not means here I am taking the range from 2 to n. If it is 11, If it is 11, n equals to 11. I run this loop from 2 to n. So 2 to n means it returns 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these are the numbers. Now, in each iteration, the I value becomes 2 in first iteration. In next iteration, 3. In next iteration, 4, and so on. Now, what is the n value? 11. In first iteration, I am going to find 11 percentage 2 equals to 0. If it is not, then the I value become 3. Next iteration, 4, 5, 6, like that. In the case of 11, 11 percentage 2 not equals to 0. 11 percentage 3 not equals to 0. 11 percentage 4 not equals to 0. And so on. 11 percentage 10 also not equals to 0. So we don't enter into this block. So here, after completion of this loop, here, already in our previous class, we discussed one thing. In Python, we are going to write the else block to the first statement. We're going to write else block to the first statement. What is the purpose here? If you are not enter into this block, here 10 percentage I equals to 0, at any time, we are not enter into this block. If the number is 11, then this else block will be executed. Okay, if I give the number 10, 10 percentage equals to 0, it becomes true, and it means 10 is not a prime number. Coming to here 11, if the n equals to 11, we don't enter into this loop, enter into this block. So here the else block will be executed, and it prints so 10 is a 11 is a prime number. Okay, I hope everyone understand the problem. We execute this program. So here we are going to read the value from the keyboard. So for example, I read 11. Now it prints. So 11 is a prime number. So 11 is a prime number. If I enter 10, it prints 10 is not a prime number. Okay. So first line you are going to read the n value. So I am taking a variable n equals to int input. Int input. So next line, you are going to run the loop by using for I in range of the prime numbers range is starting from 2 to n. So 2 to n. If I give the n value equals to 11, what is the sequence here? 2 to 10. If I give the n value equals to 7, then it returns the sequence from 2 to 6. If n percentage I in each iteration, I try to find the remainder of that number n. If it is equals to 0, then I am going to print n is not a prime number, and we are going to break the loop. Once we find that, for example, 10 percentage 2 equals to 0, then there is no need to check 10 percentage with 3. So break. And here I write else block, else statement to the for print is a prime number. Is a prime number. Okay, if I execute this, if I give 11, 11 is a prime number. If I give input 10, 10 is not a prime number. If I give 21, so 21 is not a prime number. 19, so 19 is a prime number. Okay. So how we are saying that here you are going to find the percentage remainder here. If the remainder is 0, then we say that the n, whatever you are going to read from the keyboard, that number is not a prime number. Okay. So this is the first program. Simple. You are going to read a number from keyboard. Then you are going to find that whether the number is a prime number or not. Okay. So now this is the same program. For this, we are going to do another a small modification. Here, if you observe that, so for previous program, here instead of this, we write n value, n value. Okay, what it means? For example, if you want to find 101, 101 is a prime number or not? So how I can find? So 101 is a prime number or not? If I give 101. So 101 is a prime number. So 101 is a prime number. Now, to find whether the 101 number is a prime or not. So for that, we are going to check from 2 to 100 numbers. So 2 to 100, that means so 99 times you are going to perform this operation. That means you start from so 101 percentage 2 equals to 0. In next iteration, 101 percentage 3 equals to 0. In a next iteration, 101 percentage 4 and so on. You can check 100 percentage, sorry, 101 percentage 100. Okay. Now, so 99 times you are going to perform this percentage remainder modulus operation. Okay. So for example, if I find 1001 is a prime number or not, 1001 is a prime number or not. So for that, we are going to find 2 to so 1000. Okay, 999 times you are going to check this condition. Okay, if I am specifying as a n, now the runtime will be increased. Now the runtime will be increased. Okay, so how we can overcome that means by using this mathematical formula. Mathematical formula. What is the formula here? Here, the formula is so SQRT of n plus 1. SQRT of 1 plus 1. What is the SQRT of n plus 1? So, for example, I want to find the number 101. 101 is a prime or not. So, for that, I am going to find square root of n. So, what is the square root of 101? Square root of 101. Square root of 101 is so maybe so 10 point something. Okay, 10.001. Let us assume. Okay, so for that you are going to add 1, 11. 11. You convert into the integer, we got 11 as answer. Now, to find this 101 is a prime number or not, you are going to perform from so 2 to 10 numbers. That's enough. To find the number 101 is a prime number or not. So how we can find? So in previous program, we can find that we divide that 101 number from the numbers from 2 to 100. But if you are using this function, if you are using this mathematical function SQRT of n, now the iterations are reduced to 9. Okay, so for example, if it is number 1001, 1001. Now in this case, so what is the root of 1000? The root of 1000. Okay, so root of 1000. For example, let us assume the root of 1000. Just wait. 33 into 33. Yes, let us assume it is 33. That means to determine that 1001 is a prime number or not. So for that, we can run this loop up to 2 to 33. 2 to 33. 2 to 33. So here we reduce the execution time. For 1001, in previous program, we are going to execute, we enter into this block 999 times. But now you can reduce that to 2 to 33 times. Okay, so this is how we can reduce the execution time. Okay, so same program we can execute with the help of SQRT function. Same program. Instead of this n, you are going to write math SQRT of n plus 1. Okay, so this SQRT function is available in math module. So we can write import math. Okay, in future classes, we are going to discuss about the modules. Now, remember this point. Here I am using SQRT function. This SQRT function is available in math module. So I write like this math.sqrt. Math.sqrt. And when I am using this module, you are going to import that module in your program. So math.sqrt of n plus 1. Here we got a float value. So I convert that float value into integer by using int function. That's it. Okay. So what is the mathematical formula here we are using? SQRT of n plus 1. So this SQRT is available in math module. So you write math.sqrt of n plus 1. And here we get float value as a result. So I convert that float value as an integer. So I am using int of. Okay. If we execute, so 101 is a prime number. 1001 is not a prime number. 17 is a prime number. Okay, same program. Here just we are change this range. Okay. If when you want to find a number is a prime number or not, you are going to use this logic. Instead of your n place, instead of 2 comma n, you are going to write, you are going to use so this notation. Okay. Next one, the same program. Here you are going to read a value. Now I'm going to print the prime numbers from 1 to n value. The prime numbers from 1 to n. So given an integer n, write a program to print all the prime numbers from 1 to n. Okay. The input will be a single line containing positive n value. The output should contain all prime numbers from 1 to n, each in a line. So example, if I give n value 10, then it prints 2, 3, 5, 7 as the output. If I give 25, then it prints the numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. All are prime numbers. So how we can change the problem? How we change the program? Very simple. Here, so we are going to print. So for example, this is the program. Okay. So this is the solution for to find a number is a prime number or not. Okay, already we discussed this. Up to here, we discuss. Here we write the program to find the numbers between 1 to n. If I give 10, now it prints 2, 3, 5, 7 as output. So how we can start? So we start the loop from 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Okay. So we take the ranges 2 comma n plus 1. The n equals to 10. You take the sequence up to 10. So I write as n plus 1. N plus 1. Okay. Now we enter into the loop for j in range of, in previous example, take n here. Here we are taking the first number. What is the first number? 2. So after that you are going to find it is true or false. We are going to find the percentage here. In first case, 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2. Range of 2 comma 2. Everyone please give the response in the chat box. The range 2 comma 2. What it returns? The range 2 comma 2. The range 2 comma 2. What it returns? The range 2 comma 2. If I give range of 2 comma 11, what it returns? What it returns? It returns 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to it prints 2 to 10 numbers. For I in range of 2 comma 11, print I. Print I. So what it returns? Observe that the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. If I give 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2. Now, everyone please give the response in the chat box. Yes. It executes one time. Error. No. It returns nothing. The range 2 comma 2. It returns nothing. If you observe that, I am executing. Observe that it returns nothing. Okay, if I give 2 comma 3, 2 comma 3, now it returns 2 as output. Now it returns 2 as a output. If I give 2 comma 2, then it does not return anything. It does not return anything. Okay. Now we coming to program. Okay. In first case, yes, empty set is correct. Okay. In first case, it is 2 comma 2. So it does not return anything. We don't enter into this block. So the else statement for first statement, the else block for first statement will be executed. So it prints 2 as output. Next iteration 3. I value becomes 3. This is the I value now. So 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3. What is the sequence 2? So what is the I value? 3 percentage 2. Equals to 0? No. Loop is over. We not execute any statements in that if block. So print I. So it prints 3. Next I value 4. So this is the I value now. Enter into the block. Range of 2 comma 4. Now it returns 2, 3. So in first iteration, you are going to find 4 percentage 2 equals to 0. Yes, this statement will be true now. So break. So the control goes to next instruction, next iteration in first for loop. 5. 2 comma 5. J in range of 2 comma 5. What is the sequence? 2, 3, 4. So 5 number not divisible by 2. 5 number not divisible by 3. So 5 number not divisible by 4. So we never enter into this block. So it prints 5 as a output. 2, 3, 5. Next iteration, I value become 6. 6 percentage 2 equals to 0. So break. Next iteration, 7. I value become 7. Enter into the block. 2 comma 7. Now the sequence is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is not divisible by 2. 7 is not divisible by 3. 7 is not divisible by 4 and 5 and 6. So we never enter into this block. So we print this print statement in L. So print I. What is the I here? 7. Next iteration, I value become 8. 2 comma 8. 2 comma 8 means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 8 is divisible by 2. So break statement. Next iteration, 9. So 9 is divisible by 3. So break. Next iteration, 10. 10 divisible by 2. So break statement. After completion of all the iterations, these values are output. So these are print on monitor. So 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7 is 2, 3, 5, 7 are the prime numbers. Okay. To change the program here. Here we are going to write another for loop. For I in range of 2 comma n plus 1. So 2 comma n plus 1. Here we are going to find, we are taking another value for j in range of 2 comma I. Instead of n, here I am taking I. And every time I am checking that I percentage j. I percentage j equals to 0. Then you are going to break the loop. Break the loop here. That's why here we are not printing it as a the n as a not prime number here. Here the program is you are going to read the value. So for example 11. Now it prints 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 as a output. So each one printed new line. If I give input as a 5, now it print output as a 2, 3, 5. Okay. So this is the expected output. So just you are going to read the n value. After that you print the 2, 3, 5. After that you are going to print the prime numbers up to n value. So here I'm going to print the only I value. That's it. So this else is for this for loop. Okay, this is the program already we discussed. Here just we're going to write one extra for loop for I in range of 2 comma n plus 1. We execute this program. If I give 10, 2, 3, 5, 7. If I give 100, now all these are the prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13 and 97. So all these numbers are the prime numbers. If I give 11, so 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 are the prime numbers. So this is the program to find the prime numbers from 1 to n value. So 1 to n value. Now the second another program. This is also very similar. Here we are going to find the prime numbers from m to n. In previous program 1 to n. Lower bound is 1, upper bound is n. Now m to n. Okay. Here you are going to read the two numbers. So one is m, another one is n. If I give numbers 5, 11. Now what is the expected output? 5, 7, 11. Okay. So where we are going to change, where we are going to modify, we are going to read two values. So m and n. One is m int of input, int of input. That's it. Now we are going to find, we are going to change this n value as a, here the 2 value as a m. That's it. Now the range is starting from m to n plus 1. The remaining same. If I execute this, if I give m as 5, n as 11, 5, 7, 11. Okay. If I give 50 as a m, 70 as a n. So 53, 59, 61, 67 are the prime numbers. Okay. So this is the solution. Instead of 2 here, instead of 2 here, write m value. That's it. Okay, I'm taking m and n from the keyboard. Instead of 2 comma n plus 1, I write m comma n plus 1. That's it. Okay, so this is a very important program. So this is the previous question, the coding question, the Python program for consecutive prime sum. The consecutive prime sum. Some prime numbers can be expressed as a sum of other consecutive prime numbers. Okay, for example, 5. The 5 is a prime number. So 2 plus 3. So what are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. Okay, here the number 5. The number 5 is expressed as the consecutive sum, the consecutive prime number sum here. Here the 2, 3 are the consecutive primes. So 2 plus 3 equals to 5. Similarly, 17. 17. So 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. Now, so 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 equals to 17. So similarly, 41. 41. So 41 is a prime number, and it's a combination of, we get this 41 prime number by adding the consecutive prime numbers 2, 3, 5 plus 7 plus 13. Okay, so this is the 41. Okay, I hope you all are understand the problem here. So consecutive prime sum. The consecutive prime sum. So that means some prime numbers can be expressed as sum of other consecutive prime numbers. So for example, 17. So 17 is a prime number. So this can be, the 17 can be expressed as sum of other consecutive prime numbers. That is 2, 3, 5, and 7. Okay. I hope you all are understand what is the consecutive prime sum. Now, our task is to find out how many prime numbers which satisfy this property are present in the range of 3 to n. So 3 to n, and subject to constraint that the summation should always start with number 2. Summation always start with number 2. Here, we are going to find that how many prime numbers which satisfies this property. For example, I give the number 20. Number 20. So below 20, so how many numbers are there? For example, the numbers are, the prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. That is it. These are the prime numbers. So before 20, so these are the prime numbers. But what are the consecutive prime number, prime sum numbers? So only 2. One is 5, another one is 17. So 2 is the output. Okay. So what we are going to do here, our task is to find out how many prime numbers which satisfies this property. What is the property here? That can be, a prime number can be expressed as sum of other consecutive prime numbers. Okay, are present in the range of 3 to n. So here we consider that 2 as a prime number, and we are going to find the summation. So we are taking this loop from 3. So 3 to n. If I give 20, we are going to find the 3 to the 20 as a range. Okay. Here we are going to write a code to find out the number of prime numbers that satisfy the above mentioned property in given range. The input format. So first line contain a number n. What is the output? Print the total number of such prime numbers which are less than or equals to n. Okay. So this is the constraints. The n value lies between 2 and this number. And here, so these are the samples. If I give the input 20, output is 2. If I give 15, the output is 1. Okay. So this is the problem. I hope everyone understand the problem. What we are going to write here? We are going to write the problem to find consecutive prime sum. Anybody have any doubts? In tomorrow class, we are going to solve this problem. Okay, we are going to solve this problem in 2 ways. In tomorrow class, we are going to discuss about this. So thank you all. We meet in tomorrow class. Thank you.